So yesterday I reported about the killing, the stabbing of Christian Tobechukwu Obumselu, and the comments that I'm getting on YouTube, TikTok, they're really shameful. Really, really shameful. I mean, we have this black man, Nigerian American, who has been killed by a white woman. So many different dynamics here at play. But yet, the black women in my comment section, I'm not even going to repeat this. I don't want these words coming out of my mouth, but I'll let you see some of the comments that I've been receiving. Very shameful stuff. So I want to talk about a few things because this incident has a lot of intersectionality in it. It has a lot of dynamics. There are a lot of dynamics at play. First, we have a woman killing a man. Then we add the race card into it. Then we think about domestic violence. So many dynamics to this conversation. And then, of course, the media, the mainstream media, and how they are covering this, TMZ and all of that. So let's first start with the black women in my comment section. Now, I'm a black woman, and I completely understand the perspective, especially black women in America. There's this sort of like belief system around, black men, golden penis syndrome, which is like a syndrome where there are not that many educated black men or financially successful black men in comparison to women, especially through the university system. So, and this idea that when black men reach the top, they kind of sell out and they go marry a white woman, which decreases the chances of black economic empowerment. And I've made so many videos about this, even on my other channel, the Kenim O show. I really break that down and how actually black men, especially wealthy black men, perpetuate the devaluation of black lives and perpetuate the lack of black economic empowerment. So I break that down very systematically. And so I understand the sentiment that these women have.
I'm Courtney Taylor, and I do OF for a living.
OnlyFans. You got like 1 million followers or something?
2 million.
Damn. You look like the type of girl that only dates like rich guys. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I only date black guys. Especially black guys. Let me clarify. I only date rich black guys.
Rich black guys. There we go. And so you're toxic.
Yeah.
You can tell she like black guys. It's like, especially black guys. For all you watching, I'm with it. Do you like to be fully controlled, or do you?
I like to be submissive. In the bedroom. Yes. But like in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do.
Yeah, so you only want them to tell you what to do in the bedroom. Other than that, you don't want them to tell you anything.
Right. That's exactly it. Yes.
So that sounds like you're a control freak with your relationships. Be careful with this one. She's gonna boss you around like
exactly. Sweet toxicity.
So you only date rich black guys. So like,
I understand the sentiment, but that said, I'm also not stupid, and I'm gonna call it what it is: stupid, ignorant, so many different things. Ignorant, stupid. You have a man, just on a basic human level, you have a human being that has been killed. And you have the audacity to write in the comment section that you don't care and all of this stuff. That is one offense. Secondly, this is now a black man that has been killed, your own kin, which, look, at the end of the day, we're all human. We should all care about the basic man. That's why I started out saying a human being that has been killed. But now you have a black man that has been killed, your own kin. And this is the sentiment you have. These women are playing perfectly into the white supremacist agenda. In fact, the way that I see it, white supremacy is working overtime through them, and they're so stupid in a trance that they don't even see it. You're working for the white man. Now, what do I mean when I say this? There's so many layers here, right? We have this white woman, blonde hair. This is the ideal woman in society, right? Pretty, blonde, white. She is elevated. Even the way TMZ is covering this, so disgusting. Not, look at the title. Instagram model found with blood all over her body after boyfriend found dead after stabbing, or something crazy, something stupid like that. Not even like stating what everyone else has been reporting that she stabbed him, not claiming that, giving her the benefit of the doubt. This is what white supremacy does. Whenever there's a white person committing an offense, they always give them the benefit of the doubt. When it's a black person, well, they're ready to accuse. So TMZ, first of all, not only are they only reporting this days after, waiting for more information, it happened on Sunday. It's Friday, almost a week has passed, and it took you this long to report it. Even the Shade Room, I heard that the Shade Room is owned by black people. I heard it's even specifically owned by Nigerians. And I find this is the second time I feel like they failed black society. When I remember with Ukraine, it took them how many days to report it? So it's like they wait for the cues of other media houses before they report. Wait for the cues of white supremacy before they report. But that's neither here nor there. Because I'm looking at TMZ and how many outlets are refusing to report this, how they're reporting it. Even the TMZ article, the whole article did not focus on the person that was killed, right? There was just one picture of him at the bottom. They showed us the Instagram model. They showed us the human side of her. She posted this ridiculous post hours before.
Where do I see myself in 5 years? That's a good question. Okay. I see myself with say 2 children. I would say at least 1 kid. In like 5 years, I want 1 kid. Should I have a daughter or a son? I want like a kid. A few houses. Business going on. Probably not OF, but we'll see.
And she was talking about her life in 5 years, which is funny, all the things she said, because she's probably going to end up in jail. But they gave us the human element of the murderer. That is what TMZ did. So this is how white supremacy works in our faces. But how does it now play into working overtime? Because it uses black people as a tool who play into this system of divide and conquer to fight ourselves to uphold white supremacy. Now, what is a better approach? A better approach is, okay, this is a black man that has been killed by a white woman. We understand the racial cues here. We understand the context. We could fight ourselves behind closed doors, but when it's time to fight against white supremacy, let us unite. Let us come together and attack the big monster, which is white supremacy. But what do we do instead? We fight ourselves. We distract ourselves by fighting with ourselves. And if the white people are looking at the comment section and black women and black people are saying, good for him, serves him right, all of that nonsense, then what are white people supposed to think? Are they supposed to sympathize with him? And you thinking that it's just him, he represents all black people to them. I'm not saying that he's a representation in general, but the way that they see it, he represents all black people. So if black people do not stand for black people, why should white people stand for black people? Why should they care? Why? And this is something that black people don't understand. This is something that black people consistently play into. The way that we treat ourselves is worse than even with the way they treat us. And therefore, they are encouraged to continue to treat us like this. It's not about what they think and acting a certain way in front of white people, but it's about knowing when to unite against white supremacy and coming together united as a force, right? And knowing when it's time to squabble with the whole gender wars online that we do, we squabble amongst ourselves. But when it's a time to fight for blackness, we fight for blackness. Now, there's been a lot of comments about the things that he said on Twitter. A lot of things that he said on Twitter, offensive. We've heard about that, right? We've heard about the things he said on Twitter. Even if you believe that this person was a traitor to black women, that doesn't mean that you have to be a traitor to black people. Let me repeat that. Just because you believe that he's a traitor to black women doesn't mean that you have to be a traitor to black people. Because this is not about black women versus black men. This is about white supremacy, working overtime. A black man has been killed. White supremacy is going to work overtime to make sure that this woman is not prosecuted, that she does not get the fair justice that she deserves. They've already started working overtime in the media. And you idiots, I'm going to call you that, in the comment section, are working overtime to support this notion. Are you proud? You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. And the reason why I approach it like this, because I think about his family. Whatever you think about them, whatever you think about, maybe it's his brother that said something terrible or him that said something terrible. I don't even know who said something terrible. If it's his brother that said something terrible, what does that have to do with him? Do you represent everybody in your family? Do you represent your parents? Do you represent your sisters? You don't. You can't control what anyone else does. I personally don't take responsibility for anybody's actions but my own. Right? So why should he be responsible for his brother's actions? So if it was his brother that did that, what does that have to do with him and his life and the value of his life? If it was him that did it, just because he did it, does that mean that you must do it too? But beyond that, this is a young man, 27 years old. Just a week before his 28th birthday, he has a mother, he has cousins, he has siblings, he has a father. And all these people are in pain right now. All these people are in pain, and they go online and they see the filth that you people are writing. If it's not traumatic enough to lose your child, your brother, if that is not traumatic enough, you then go online and people are saying that he deserves it, and that miss me or whatever nonsense you're saying, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. And that's just literally what I have to say to all the people spewing nonsense, working as agents for white supremacy, working overtime. Think about it. Think about how we can unite in moments like this. Think about how we can use it as a teachable moment. You don't agree with the sentiments that he or his brother has spread online, then educate people outside of that sentiment. Instead of working or combating it, be Chris Rock in the situation. Will Smith slapped him, he did not do anything. Him not doing anything was the greatest move that he could have made. But instead, you continue the fight. So we continue to be distracted with the fight against ourselves, and therefore we see white media further elevating this blonde hair beauty, but really a murderer, this blonde murderer. Positioning white people who have plagued and killed a lot of people on this earth, and I'm not attacking white people specifically, but I'm really talking about their ancestors, the culture, white culture, who has plagued and killed, massacred, genocide, all of that, hundreds of millions of people through history. Yet they are positioned as the saviors of the world, and their victims positioned as the brutal ones. This is what you're working as an agent to support. Every stupid word that you write, saying disgusting things about this poor young man who lost his life senselessly. It is disgusting. Be ashamed. And believe me, yes, I do understand the sentiment. I understand the sentiment around Black men working as agents of white supremacy by perpetuating the devaluation of Black lives through, marrying out when they become financially successful, marrying out instead of marrying within, and building the Black community that way. And also through overprocreation, having multiple kids by different women, which also, when you're, instead of pouring all your resources and money into one nuclear family unit, you're spreading it apart, which, actually directly tackles legacy and directly tackles Black economic empowerment. So I break all of this stuff down and I understand that sentiment, but regardless, there's a time and place for everything, and this is just not the time. This is just not the time. And if we want to solve this, instead of attacking each other online with these gender wars and attacking a dead man, what does that make you look like? And how will that cause healing? So instead of doing all of that, we need to have healthy discussion, healthy discord amongst ourselves within the Black community to heal, because this is about healing. So even if you believe this young man had said some disturbing things about Black women, it doesn't mean that you need to do it either. It doesn't mean that you need to participate in that. Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. Why is it that we always have to go high? Because we're kings. Our ancestors are kings. That's why we go high. When they go low, we go high because our lineage is royalty. That's why. So you might feel that he has done this. He's a young man. He was 27. He's a child. His frontal lobe just developed, right? 25. And typically it's around that 27 age where you make those big mistakes that typically, if you're lucky, it teaches you great life lessons that you can use in your 30s and beyond to build a better life for yourself. But he, unfortunately, had to suffer the consequences. But in suffering the consequences, he has become the example to other Black men. So these Black men that are looking at this man who bashed Black women and unfortunately died at the hands of the women that he elevated, now maybe they will take a lesson from that. But if they go online and they see the disgusting things that some of these Black women are saying online, well, that's not going to stir them back to Black women, is it? So we need to have healthy discord, and healthy discord does not involve disrespecting the dead. At the very least, whatever he did alive, that's between him and his maker. And he just one tweet does not sum up his entire life. One action that you've done in life does not sum up your entire life. So let's not judge him based on that, and let's just respect the dead man. May his soul rest in peace. And let's come from a place of healing the Black community, so that Black men like him don't feel the need to make tweets like that, and Black women also don't feel the need to make these disgusting comments that I'm seeing in my comment section. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace.